His name was George. A simple young man, but with a heart bigger than the world. For years, he dreamed of becoming someone his family would be proud of. Someone successful, loved, influential. But life wasn't always kind to him. He'd work for a day, then get stuck for 10. He'd try starting a project, fail, think about studying. But circumstances stopped him. And with every attempt that collapsed, George felt a piece of his soul breaking. And worst of all, people's eyes. Those eyes that said, "George, what do you think you'll become? Enough. Just find any job." He would smile in front of others. But inside, he was collapsing. He started feeling like he was living in a shadow. Not a life. He felt like failure was carved into his name. One rainy day, George returned home exhausted, drenched in worries. He opened an old drawer, and a book fell into his hands. A book titled The Secret. He read a little. Found phrases like, "Imagine, and your dreams will come true. Send your wishes to the universe. The universe hears you. Just ask." George was weak during that period, ready to cling to any hope. He said to himself, "Why not? Maybe this book will change my life." And with eyes full of desperation, he began to believe. On the first night, George sat at an old wooden table and wrote down all his dreams. He wrote about the house he dreamed of, the car, the travel, and the thing he hid deepest in his heart, the girl of his dreams. He loved her from afar, never dared to speak. He wrote her name, drew the life he imagined with her, imagined her smile, their children, imagined details no one knew but him. And after days, he started spending long hours alone, eyes closed, living in a world entirely of his own making. A world more beautiful than reality. Easier, warmer, and with no failure. Meanwhile, George's real life was collapsing. His job was declining. His relationships growing colder. Day becoming night. And night becoming sleep. Whenever he opened his eyes, life felt tight, suffocating, colorless. So he closed them again and returned to his fantasy. Months passed, and everything turned worse. The girl he dreamed of, he heard she got engaged. And soon after, married. It was as if his dream book was falling apart page by page. And his money, it dropped even more, barely enough to live. He started avoiding people, his family, any situation that might expose his weakness. George, who once dreamed of becoming something, became a tiny insect trapped between the pages of an imaginary book. His whole life was built on the idea that, if you imagine it, the universe will give it to you. But the universe gave him nothing. In fact, it took from him time, energy, and confidence. One day, George opened the same drawer where he'd found the book. But this time, his hand fell on an old picture of himself as a child. His face was full of life, full of ambition, full of a smile he hadn't seen in years. He looked at the picture and said, "Is that really me? Where did I go? Why did I become like this?" In that moment, something happened. It was like a new truth hit him in the head. The book wasn't the answer. The book was his escape. The secret didn't give him power. The secret stole his passion. It took him to a world that wasn't his, and pushed him away from the real one. A tear fell. Not for the losses. Not for the months wasted. Not even for the girl. It fell for himself, for the person he abandoned, for the man who stood still. For George, who forgot that life isn't achieved through dreams, but through work, patience, and falling 1,000 times and standing back up twice as much. That night, George closed the book, not because he hated it, but because he finally understood it. He folded the paper where he'd written his dreams, not to erase them, but to start working on them for Raoul. He returned to work, started planning again, started taking small steps. But real ones, practical ones, steps that could actually grow. And with time, he began to succeed, began to stand tall again. Began to watch his dreams unfold, not as pictures in his imagination, but as achievements built by his own persistence. At the end of his journey, George learned the truth that changed his life. Imagination is beautiful when it's fuel, but if it becomes a replacement for life, it becomes a prison. And he learned another truth: dreams don't come true because you imagine them, dreams come true because you walk toward them, even if you have to crawl. And his old book, he didn't throw it away, he left it on the shelf, not as a reminder of some secret, but as a reminder of the illusion he survived.